Good afternoon to you, one and all. It is our prayer that God is continually working in and through your life. I am grateful for the privilege to be able to share with you on this afternoon. And even though I don't know if the numbers will be the same because I know you were looking for me at 12 noon. And I'll explain a little more about that as more come on. That way I'm not like explaining it over and over and over again. But again, like I said, I don't know if I'll get the same numbers as I would normally get uh, around about the 12 noon because it is afternoon. People are going home from work, have other things to do. But I am still grateful for the privilege to be able to come and to be a part of your learning experience on today. So I'm thankful to God for that. Good afternoon, Gladys. How are you? Praying you and Tom are doing fantastically well. And so, again, just going to give a couple of more moments since I just came on. I see people are coming on board, and so I'm grateful and thankful to God for that. That it is as well as it is, and so we'll wait just a little bit um, and see who all comes on board to share with us on this afternoon. Good afternoon, Minister Marcia. How are you? Praying you and the girls are doing fine. Cora, Denise, Barbara, thank you so much for realizing that delay is not denial. Okay, I see Tom. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Okay. Um, Carolyn, how are you this afternoon? Sylvia Scott. Yeah, good. uh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Hey, Katrina, how are you? Cecile, how are you doing? Praying that all is well. Do I got afternoon? I got you, Tom. Not a problem at all. Grateful to God for those of you that are coming on and to be with us. Sylvia, how you? How you? How you be? Um, Glad all is well. Linda, good afternoon to you. I see there's a good number of you coming on board, and I'm thankful that there are those of you who are coming on, and I'll share with you. Good, good. I'm so glad. I'll just go ahead and share this, and then I can get into the lesson. I'm sure the topic probably scared people to death. Okay, but all of us have been or are addicted to something. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Carolyn. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have Elder Jordan. How are you? Good. I need all the prayer I can get. Now, I had a 7 a.m. appointment, which for me, I'm doing better. I'm doing better. Okay. I like to get my appointments over with as soon as possible. And so it was a 2 hour procedure. Rebecca, how are you? Yeah, 2 hours. Because what is being done is they are going to crown two teeth that are side by side. So he did both teeth at the same time. Now, right now, I have a temporary crown because what they have to do is they have to numb me in order to do that. And I ended up with 7 or 8 shots of Novocaine. Some of it in the side of the jaw, some of it under the roof of my mouth, in order for them to get in there and to drill and to do all of the stuff that needs to be done to do the impressions. And if you've ever had impressions done, Tyrone, how are you, my friend? they put that gook in it. It's so horrible, and they put it in your mouth. Stephanie, how you doing today? And so what he had to do was he had to numb me more than normal because they had to actually go down into the gum so that when the new permanent crowns are put in, they would fit in properly. So there was a lot of drilling, it was just a lot. Okay. And so everything was fine when I got home, and I said, okay, yeah, I can't eat on that side just yet. I have to make sure I chew on the one side. And the thing about it is, I was fine until the Novocaine wore off. But he had told me ahead of time that it was going to hurt because of the amount of drilling and the pressure and the dealing with the gums and stuff. And so when the pain showed up, I think Lady Harrison said I needed to take 2 Advil or a Aleve or something, but I took 2 Tylenol. And I just laid down for a moment, and the next thing you know, it was after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, and people wanted to know, I didn't hear my phone, didn't hear nothing, didn't know anything. And so I went through all of that. And so the pain runs up the side of my face. But it's all good. It's all good. That's why I said I was going to come on later, but then I said, no, let me come on now. That way I can do a couple of things that need to be done and just do nothing the rest of the day. And then tomorrow be ready. Lady Harrison has to go to the eye doctor. She has to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. So we do what we got to do. Thank you so much for your concern. I appreciate people who really cared and wanted to know, was everything all right? And that means more than you will ever know. Well, I'm talking about how can we overcome addictions? How? And so I'm going to read a passage, but the truth of the matter is, I'm going to go through Ephesians chapter 5. That's where I'm going to be at. Ephesians chapter 5. And then the 18th verse says, be not drunk with wine wherein is excess or debauchery, but be filled with the Spirit. But I want to start the process of understanding where addictions come from and how they can be conquered and overcame. Okay. I appreciate that from you, Cora. I know y'all love me. I know you're concerned about me. But that one just kind of threw me off a little bit. And again, if it had been just one tooth, it would have been fine. But these two teeth are side by side. And I'm fascinated over the fact that dentists do the things that they do, but there's also that level of pain that comes along with it. Where do addictions come from? How do addictions develop? What are the things that moves one into those things? And I need us to understand, and I hope you get this, and I really want you to write this down. Addictions begin with deficits. Addictions begin with deficits. Okay? Because the truth of the matter is, an addiction, and when I talk about addictions, I know what Ephesians 5:18 said about drinking, but there are a multiplicity of addictions. Okay? And I'm going to talk about some of them because I've even struggled with a few of them myself. It's not just, there you go. Addictions begin with deficits. Okay? Usually there is something that is missing, something that is absent, that causes one to try to find a solution to a deficit. And when you're not sure of things, what happens? You try to find, because the truth of the matter is, we all want to be happy. We all want to be filled with joy. We all want to be successful. We want to be known, and I'm not talking about in an arrogant way, but we want people to know we're alive. That is one of the most powerful things about the church is it's the place where if you consider yourself to not be anything or accomplishing anything, it's the church where you're supposed to really recognize all of these great things that are going on. And so we see clearly that they begin with some level of deficit, abandonment, pain, hurt, mistrust, um, all of these things. Okay. And that's it, Cora. There's a void. And the sad thing about voids is we don't really know that they are there or what they are, because all we know is we've got a pain or we've got an itch that either needs to be satisfied or scratched. And because of us not really walking with the Lord, we go to church, but that doesn't mean we were walking with the Lord. We knew how to be churchy, but it didn't necessarily mean we knew how to walk with the Lord. What we did, and I can even go even further, okay? I can even go further than that. Yet that's Cora. Want the need, and this is what Ephesians chapter 5 is so powerful about, because it talks about walking in love. And many of us have found ourselves in horrible relationships because maybe the home environment wasn't perfect. So and I'm not talking about anybody. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. I've seen many a woman who isn't happy at home and with mom and dad, or maybe mom or maybe dad, or whatever the case may be. There's some level of madness that goes on, and she finds this guy, and she thinks that if I go ahead and shack up with him or marry him, that he will fill the void, not realizing that many times the enemy will send the kind of man or woman who will exacerbate the problem even worse than if you'd have just stayed at home. Okay, I know y'all don't like me. And so what they do is they have no experiences in life. Are y'all still there? Because y'all show ain't saying much. I mean, I know this is tight, but it's right, because I got to deal with what I got to deal with, because only truth will set free. But in order for us to be free, we've got to acknowledge that there are deficits, that there are, hey, Myrna, how are you in Baltimore? Waiting for your flight, praying that you have safe travels as you prepare to celebrate the life of your dad. We love you much. Stay safe, okay? And so in the midst of that, we enter into relationships. We enter into things. We become sexually active. We start drinking. We start partying. Okay, I just want to make sure y'all were here. And all of those things are there to try to blot out the pain, the hurt, the deficit that takes place. And out of those situations come children, and then you've got the pressure of maybe not having a man that loves you, or a woman that loves you, but you got children who need love, and it's hard for you to give love to children when you're not receiving love. Okay, all right. What's love got to do with it? Trust me, love has everything to do with it, because God is love. And that's what we have to understand, is that when we have an absence of godness, woo, Lord have mercy, an absence of godness, we will turn around and involve ourselves in everything and anything, especially if someone tells us not to do it, because they don't know the pain, they don't know the plight, they don't know the hurt, they don't know the deficit, they don't know how trying and crazy it is. Okay? And so in the midst of that, in the midst of everything, addictions begin with deficits. We are hurting and we want relief. We are traumatized and we want relief. Hey, Herma, how are you this afternoon? And so in the midst of that, we need to find some panacea. We need to find some solution. We need to find something that will cause us to feel good about ourselves and to feel whole and significant. And so, Stephanie, that's where God comes in through Jesus Christ, but you have to know him more than in just a superficial manner. Because the enemy understands clearly that if I can just keep you from the thing that will change your life, you will become accustomed to being miserable and to live in deficits and disappointments the rest of your life. Okay? That you do start looking for love in all the wrong places. And hey, Iris, how are you? That's what we do. We need comfort, y'all. Somebody to hold. It starts out so innocent. Somebody to hold you. Somebody to tell you that you're beautiful or you're handsome. Somebody to let you know that you're significant. And then the next thing you know, one thing leads to another and to another. And then the next thing you know, you find yourself in a relationship that you can't get out of. Okay, hey, Iris, it's good to see you. And so it is not just sex. It's alcohol, it's drugs. Here we go. It's food. Woo! If you've ever paid any attention, I watched that show called My 600-Pound Life. And the reason that I like watching that show is because it shows how this addiction gets started. What is it? It's comfort food. It's comforting. Okay. When you cannot find self-worth and self-esteem, you cannot find comfort, you cannot find solace in anything else, you can turn to a good dish of food. You can and there's and it's not just it's not just the food, but it's the amount, because here's what happens. When there is no self-control, then you consistently feed it, because the more you feed it, the better you feel. But the consequence is ungodly weight gain. And I watch that show because I watch how people struggle because they want that gastric bypass surgery. I watch how they struggle. I watch how they go through that. And I watch how some of them are successful in losing the weight, but many of them are not. Why? Because that addiction speaks so loud. Even with drugs, some people who have been on drugs said the drug speaks to you. The alcohol speaks to you. I know for a fact that alcohol speaks to you. It talks to you. They don't call it a spirit for nothing. And see, the problem is we, when hurting, don't know moderation. And so Paul even deals with that. He doesn't condemn drinking. What he condemns is drunkenness. What he condemns is showing a behavior through the consumption of alcohol that could cause someone else to stumble. And that's when he says, if my meat cause somebody to stumble, I won't eat it anymore. That's important, because we are important. Now, let me look at the first verse. See, I got into all of that so I could get to the first verse of Ephesians chapter 5. He says, therefore, be imitators of God, my dear children. Look at what he's saying. Now, I looked it up in the Greek, and you know me, when it comes down to the New Testament, I got to make sure that I do my Greek exegetical study so you can understand through word search exactly what it means. What it actually means is, and this is important, that we are to be like God. And I got to get us to catch that. I got to get us to get that and to understand that it does not say that we are to be God, but it says we are to be like God. We are to be imitators. Do you know how here we go again. Harrisons are Harrisons. They are Harrisons because of assimilation. They are Harrisons because of contact. They are Harrisons because of interaction and relationship. They are also Harrisons because it's in the blood. Oh, I wish I could get a witness on that. So No matter how much we say we're not going to be Harrisons, Harrisons are so ingrained in our culture, our nature, and our DNA that even unconsciously we reflect what a Harrison is. Okay. Hey, Yana, how are you? So we're to be imitators of God. We are not God. We are not to be little gods, but we are to imitate God. Now, you cannot imitate someone you are not around. Casual associations only creates calamity. Woo! Sharon, good to have you. Casual associations only create calamity. It is through the intimacy, which is not sex, the intimacy of a consistent ingestion of the behavior. Hey, Doe, how are you? Okay. Because of that, okay, I am who I am because of who. That's why I tell people this all the time. Elder Jordan, are you getting me? Because this one's going to be a little difficult, but in the midst of it is freedom. What we've got to understand, if you want to know who you are, and you have heard me say this before, look at who you hang with. Look at the people who are closest to you. And so when you see those persons, you see yourself, because it's difficult for me to see that I'm not really emulating who I am supposed to be when the pain of where I am is causing me, okay, what the pain of where I am is causing me to seek out other things to give me peace, to give me contentment, to give me self-esteem, to give me self-worth. Oh God. And so, and I know I'm gonna mess you up when I say this, you can't always assimilate that in church, because a church is not a place of assimilation. It is a place of instruction and motivation. When you go to church, you go to get instructed. You go and you also are motivated. Okay, what is motivation? Praise. But praise cannot supersede word. And that's the major problem in the church. We want the praise, but no word. And so what happens is it's another addiction. We want to feel good without a foundation. Uh-oh. Yeah, we want to feel good without a foundation. Okay? So what do? We get off on the musicians, and we get off on the praise team, and we get off on the choir, and we get off on all of that. But then when the word comes, we change channels, because the word isn't stimulating enough. The word doesn't provide the catalyst for me to feel good, because sometimes word don't work well with where we are. Lord have mercy, Jesus, help me. Because see, word is a two-edged sword. It's designed to cut and to heal. It is designed to expose and to bring revelation and understanding. Okay. And so this is what you got to understand. This is where you need to understand. Cora, you don't know how much I appreciate the fact that you are where you are in the Union Church, because you recognize the level of teaching that comes through the Union ministry. Okay. And I'm not the best teacher. I'm not the most exegetically expert person. I can't always pronounce the Greek words or anything like that, but I know what the word means. Oh, and so my job is to provide for you, Hattie, as much as I possibly can, so that you become not imitators of me, but imitators of God through Jesus Christ. I'm done. Listen, this gonna be deep, y'all. This gonna be deep. This gonna be deep. And the word should shoot. Let me tell y'all something. The word convicts me before I get to you. And so in the midst of this, now I'm gonna say something about that. The fix is only as quick as you want it fixed. The fix is only as quick as you want it fixed. If I'm hurting, okay, I got this phrase that I came up with a long time ago. When the pain of change is less than the pain of staying the same, you will change. When the pain of change is less than the pain of staying the same, you will change. You remember that, Lynn? I'm going to put it on Facebook. I'm going to see how many people react to it. When my plight tears me down enough that the only thing I got left is up, I'll change. Oh, okay, I'm done. I done went too long. Listen, thank you for allowing me to come into your life. Thank you for sharing with me. I will be back at 12 noon. I will be back to share with you and to continue to move forward. And Sabrina, I'm proud of you because guess what? You recognize something, and in the midst of recognizing it, you did what you needed to do. And that is the sign of someone who's walking with God, because you recognize the deficit. Okay. So yeah, don't y'all miss tomorrow. Don't y'all miss tomorrow, because I'm telling you, this is probably one of the deepest teachings I have ever done. And that's why I'm going to take my time. I hope y'all don't mind me taking my time. Yes, we're going to step on toes. Yes, it's going to be rough. Yes. But when we get on the other side of it, I guarantee you, you're going to be better on the other side of it than where you are right now. Listen, love you one and all. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your concern. By the grace of God, I will see you tomorrow at 12 noon. May God bless you. May he keep you. Is not a problem, Cecile. You can always go back and check it out later, okay? Tell Larry I said hi. May God bless you. May he keep you is our prayer.